If we travel about half a century back in time, the skyline of Ahmedabad city must appear quite different from this. Rather smoggy, the population a lot thinner, and the riverbed rather quiet. In the 60s, when the Bakeris shifted from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, it must have been a cultural shock for them. As for the city, it eventually turned out to be a welcome intervention.
As a child, I would always be accompanying my dad. Whenever we had time and holiday or Sundays and holidays, to go with him wherever he would go for his work. Whether a bridge site or a dam site or a canal site or a building site. And that enthused me as a child also. Whatever he was talking about the river flow changing, that has got embedded then. So when the bridges are designed, also to think of how the river will change its course over time.
The flow of time did change direction, moving from Mumbai to Ahmedabad with 4 years of experience as a civil engineer. Determined to start his independent business, Anil Bakeri was now entering the twilight zone. Praful Bakeri hints at the flip side of that profession with his tongue in his cheek.
Here you see what happens, a prospective member part with its funds first and receives goods that is purchased at a much later date. Builder apatar levano. In the meantime, you see if the builder were not to utilize the funds for the purpose for which they are earmarked, members per se do not have much voice or choice. And human nature being what it is, there is every likelihood of they being taken for a ride.
Anil Bakeri had a different plan, a bigger dream, to succeed, but not by hook or crook. He not only fulfilled his dream to perfection, but also transformed the codes of conduct in his profession.
They are stars of the construction industry of this state. And I also learned about the sterling contribution that Mr. Anil Bakeri made to the vision of the construction industry in the state. The kind of path that it should take, the kind of values that it should cherish, and who believed that there is no reason on earth why the real estate development and construction cannot be carried forward applying the same basic principles of ethics and management.
1996 થી 2003ના વર્ષો દરમિયાન જબરજસ્ત મંદી રહી. એ મંદી દરમિયાન બિલ્ડરોની પરિસ્થિતિ આર્થિક રીતે ઘણી ખરાબ બની. તેવા સમય દરમિયાનમાં પણ અનિલભાઈ બકેરીએ ડિપોઝિટરોને નિયમિત વ્યાજ આપ્યું. નાક પર માખ બેસવા દીધી નથી.
All our net wealth, what we call, had vanished because we had sold off all our gharanas. But we had innate faith in ourselves and in God.
He has stood, tall, and he has stood transparent, he has stood honest man against all odds. That is a very rare case in Gujarat, in particular in India also maybe.
I have seen his building which he has constructed in 1975. I have seen his building which he has constructed in 2005. So same type of quality adherence, if you say about the titles of the land, like that.
Ethics is something close to your heart, which you follow in your own life, in your own personal actions. But it also, to me, to my great astonishment, it proved to be a resource, particularly between 96 and 2002, which is very close. Okay, then, in spite of all that, because of my credibility and impeccable track record, so many people were lending me money. Because then nobody said, okay, what is your net worth, Mr. Bakeri? You give me your balance sheet so that we can assess how much your credit worthiness on the banker's parameters. They gave me enough money with whatever I needed, sometimes not whatever I did not even ask for, they would give me money. So that way I could sustain. And secondly, my immediate family and my colleagues, what I always call my extended family, to whom each one I am greatly indebted.
When I joined the company, I was absolutely raw, and he taught me even how to go to the site, how to supervise the product, how to look at it from the different angle also, from the social, moral, all those angles he has taught me.
ઘણીવાર અમુક વસ્તુ ગમતી ના હોય તેમ છતાં પણ આપણો અણગમો વ્યક્ત કર્યા વગર પણ કામ કરવું, સામેની વ્યક્તિ સાથે કામ પાર પાડવું એ એમની પાસેથી શીખ્યો છું. My wife supported me greatly. She has suffered like nobody else. I know, and I can never compensate her. No matter what I say or what I do, I can never compensate. She never had my support, whether it was children or social problems or financial problems. Early on, we had a lot of difficulties. Probably she did, even while we were living in a rented house and near the income tax railway crossing, she would have to fetch water herself from the ground floor, and full of buckets she would bring up every day for years.
એ ચેલેન્જીસનો હું વિચાર જ કરતી નથી. હું મારી રીતે જેમ થાય કે બરાબર છે, જે રીતે આગળ ચાલે એ રીતે જીવ્યા કરું છું અને બધું એવરીથિંગ ઇઝ ફાઇન. આઈ એમ એન્જોઈંગ લાઈફ. આઈ એમ લર્નિંગ, સ્ટીલ લર્નિંગ. ઇઝ વેરી લાઇવલી personality. He likes to live life very lively. એમ દરેક બાબતમાં રસ, કશામાં અને ચેલેન્જીસ બહુ ગમે. જેમ ચેલેન્જ આવે એમ વધારે આગળ કૂદકા મારે. એવું એમ ગભરાઈ જાય ને ઉલટું એને મજા આવી જાય.
And he was also a taskmaster, just as our buildings are known for their housekeeping, so was my house. He treated the house like a site. So in that sense, so I mean, in the sense that attitude to perfection everywhere prevailed at home also.
Both of them have allowed me, my younger brother and my sister a lot of freedom. Freedom to explore whatever we wish to do, whether it is in our professional lives or our personal lives, but they have given us a lot of freedom.
He would always be telling us about the trees, the highways, everything. He was like a storehouse of information which he wanted to impart to us.
The message given to us was that money is not something which one should take for granted. Money is not something which may always be available to you, but education is something which no matter what happens, that is something which will always be with you.
And I have always been the apple of his eye, but he has never spoilt me. That's what I firmly believe.
Maintaining the same high standards when the going is good and when the going is bad is what actually exemplifies the character as a solid entrepreneur and an excellent manager. And that is what, in my view, Mr. Anil Bakeri is.
He was the first one. Our company was probably one of the first one or the first one in the 60s to come out with apartment projects when people in Ahmedabad were not used to apartments. The riverfront there was something which he had worked upon in the 60s with some of the other well-known names like Bernard Kaun and Kamalbhai Mangaldas and others. So that idea had been revived 40 years later.
સેફ્ટની અંદર એમણે રીતે 12 લાખ રૂપિયા સીધા એક જ ના જમાનામાં 1980ની વાત કરું છું. પૈસા આપ્યા, મકાન પણ કંઈક હું કરું એટલે હું બાંધું નહીં, પણ તમારા વિદ્યાર્થીઓ પાસે કરાવું. કારણ કે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છે, બિલ્ડિંગના સાયન્સના સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છે, તો એમણે છે તે બીજાના કરેલા મકાનમાં શા માટે ભણવું જોઈએ? પોતાના મકાનમાં પોતે જ કરવું જોઈએ. અને જે ફેકલ્ટી છે, જે ટીચર્સ છે, એ લોકોએ પણ સુપરવાઇઝ કરવું જોઈએ ને હું એમને ગાઈડ કરીશ.
In 70s, probably, I doubt there was any architect working for a builder. I really don't recollect. Civil engineers were more doing planning then. This was the only organization where there was in-house studio.
Art is not in museums, but I certainly have a lot of art in me, in my heart. I am not a physical artist. I am not a poet, neither I am a singer, nor I am a sculptor, nor I am a painter. Because I am so passionate about details, and I always quote, God lies in details.